There are two kinds of people: those who spend their lives waiting, and those who decide to begin. The strange thing is, most people don't know which one they are because waiting rarely feels like giving up. It sounds like, I'll start next week. I'll do it when I have more time. Maybe next month. One day becomes 1 week. 1 week becomes 1 year. And before they realize it, their life hasn't been stopped by failure. It has been quietly paused by waiting. This is why most people stay stuck. Welcome to Inner Rise, where every story leaves you stronger. Have you ever felt like your life was standing still? You wake up, go through the same routine, tell yourself that tomorrow will be different, but somehow, tomorrow starts to look a lot like today. If you've ever felt that way, you're not alone. More importantly, it doesn't mean you've failed. A man once visited a small town every summer. On his morning walks, he always noticed the same bicycle leaning against the same fence. It was old. The paint had faded. The tires were flat. Every year, it was still there. One day he asked the owner, "Why don't you fix it?" The old man smiled and said, "I've been meaning to." "Then why haven't you?" The old man looked at the bicycle for a moment before answering. "Because every time I think about fixing it, I imagine everything that needs to be done. New tires, new chain, fresh paint. It feels like too much. So I tell myself, I'll start next weekend." The visitor nodded. When he returned the following summer, the bicycle was still there. Nothing had changed. Not because the old man didn't care, but because the first step felt too small to matter, and the whole journey felt too big to begin. Life can quietly become that bicycle. We think about exercising, but instead of going for a 10-minute walk, we imagine losing 20 kilos. We want a better career. But instead of sending one application, we think about changing our entire life. We dream about writing a book, but instead of writing one page, we picture all 300. The bigger we make the destination, the harder it becomes to take the first step. Here's something we rarely notice. Most people aren't afraid of hard work. They're afraid of uncertainty. They want to know the outcome before they begin. They want proof they'll succeed. But life has never worked that way. You don't see the whole path. You only see the next step. Think about driving at night. Your headlights don't light up the entire road. They only show a short distance ahead. Yet, somehow, you still reach your destination. Not because you could see every mile, but because each small stretch of road revealed the next. Life is much the same. Clarity doesn't come before you move. It comes because you move. And sometimes we tell ourselves, "I'm waiting for the right time." But if we're honest, what we're really waiting for is the feeling that we won't fail. The problem is, that feeling may never come. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's deciding that fear doesn't get to make your decisions. Maybe the reason you feel stuck isn't because you're incapable. Maybe you've simply been measuring yourself against the finish line, instead of appreciating the step you're on. Growth is rarely dramatic. Most of the time, it's invisible. It's choosing to read one chapter, saving a little money, making one phone call, taking one walk, having one honest conversation, small choices, quiet moments. They don't look life-changing until one day you realize they changed your life. If you feel stuck today, don't ask yourself, "How do I change everything?" Ask yourself, "What's one small thing I can do before this day ends?" Because life doesn't usually change in one extraordinary moment. It changes through ordinary moments that you decide matter. 1 year from now, you probably won't remember this ordinary day, but your future might. Because today could become the day you stopped waiting for certainty and started trusting the next step. So if life has felt still lately, don't be too hard on yourself. You're not behind. You're not broken. You don't need to have every answer. You only need enough courage to take the next small step. Because the opposite of being stuck isn't making a giant leap, it's simply choosing to move. Remember this: most people don't stay stuck because they can't move forward. They stay stuck because they're waiting to see the whole path instead of taking the next step. Thank you for spending these moments with Inner Rise. If today's story spoke to you, carry its lesson into tomorrow. Remember, the greatest transformation always begins within. Until our next story, keep rising.